What is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? It's your host, Ghost here, and today on White Ink, we are looking at Amazing Spider-Man issue 69. This is part 3 of the Chameleon Conspiracy. And if you remember last time we left off, Spider-Man was cornered, the wall just exploded, and there was a whole bunch of jack-o'-lanterns. The Foreigner and another villain there, along with Slide and Jamie, who was trying to steal a power conductor to power up the Clairvoyant, which you tell the future, which the villains were going to use to steal money and for gambling reasons and stuff like that. So yeah, we're still there, but this one picks off actually with picks up where Teresa Parker was, with meeting the Finisher, who was behind all these chameleon things with the death of Mary and Benjamin Parker, his mother and father, and all that going on. So this chameleon already had ties to that, along with the Finisher and everything else. So Teresa Parker is kind of getting involved in all this. But then we cut right into Spider-Man getting surrounded. He jumps right into action, swinging on the jack-o'-lanterns. He starts taking out everyone and starts fighting who he can. As you can see there, he's just flying around, taking everybody on. Slide comes in and gets him in a headlock. Once again, one of the reasons why I really like Slide as a B-tier villain. He still has the moves. He can get in on Spider-Man even though he doesn't expect him to. And then another guy shoots Spider-Man in the chest, and the Spider-Man throws Slide into the other guy. And then Jamie grabs the power conductor and attempts to leave with it, and well, he doesn't attempt to leave. He just calls Spider-Man for help. Spider-Man grabs Jamie, and out the hole they go. They try to get out of there without trying to fight any of the villains and not cause any more of a scene. Just then, the Foreigner shoots Spider-Man in the back, who is dating Silver Sable, if you guys don't know already. The Foreigner is dating Silver Sable, so she's getting tied in the criminal underworld. She doesn't mean to. She's going through some amnesia sort of symptoms and stuff like that with her character. But so it's Spider-Man fighting all these villains outside in the yard now after getting shot in the back by the Foreigner. So Spider-Man and the Foreigner go at it. He knocks him away. Spider-Man and this other villain go at it. He knocks him away. So Spider-Man's winning, and just at the last second, Jamie decides to shock Spider-Man with the power source that they stole, essentially knocking him out of the game. So yeah, Spider-Man's done, and the villains kind of look at Jamie and they're like, "You did good, you're making the right choice here. So continue on this path, and we're going to take care of you." We then cut back to the Finisher, who was working with Teresa Parker, kind of revealing what happened with their schemes, how everything played out, and how the Chameleon has had a part in a lot of these things, and how can one man be in all these places at once, and how can he make things like that possible. And he's kind of teasing her and giving her a little bit of the string to pull on to guide the mystery along of what's going on with Teresa Parker, the Chameleon, and the Finisher, and how this ties into the bigger Amazing Spider-Man lore, along with King's Bounty and everything else going on, the Sinister War and all this. Then we cut back to Spider-Man, who's kind of waking up from the blast, and Lizard's there to help him out, and he kind of tells him where they went and what was going on, how your friend was kind of betrayed by the bad guys, and it's not really his fault. So Spider-Man's like, "Okay, I need help, and I think I know who can help me in this situation." And just then he turns to Ned, who we found out last issue who was back to life somehow, and had a relationship with Betty Brant, who is now pregnant. So Spider-Man goes to him, and he kind of explains to Ned what's going on with Jamie and the Clairvoyant, and how is there any way he can help? And all Ned says is, "I'm going to need a lift," so Ned is in. So it's Spider-Man and Ned going after Jamie and the villains, trying to help his friend who's kind of in the wrong situation at the wrong time. Then after that, we cut back to the Finisher, kind of explaining more to Teresa Parker how everything works, how the world works, a little bit more, teasing, giving us a little bit of that breadcrumb to follow. Cut back to the palace where all these villains come from. The Finisher and not the Finisher, but yeah, the Finisher, Slide, and the Jack-o'-lanterns. All those villains come from this area called the palace, which is basically a floating helocraft, kind of like Shield had in the Avengers movie. Just then, their base gets attacked. The palace gets attacked by another villain group, who is actually the Finisher going after the Foreigner with his own crew, and then it ends off here on this nice shot of the Foreigner's crew attacking the other crew. You got Jack-o'-lanterns going nuts. The Jack-o'-lanterns steal Jamie, and out the window they go. So Jamie's off to go to the the Finisher, who is still talking to Teresa Parker. We cut back to the final page of this issue. And he explains to her, "Don't you wonder how we could be in all these places at once, how we could do all these different things with so little time?" And he reveals that the Chameleon is not one person, but a group of people, much like the Black Widows or any other assassin group in the Marvel Comics. So yeah, there's multiple chameleons in the Marvel Comics, not just one, but there are potentially hundreds, if not thousands of chameleons out there doing the bidding work of the Finisher and the Foreigner. Then we cut back to the setup for the Sinister War. You got Doc Ock working on this machine, trying to build a big enough power supply for something. He doesn't explain what it is, and then he says he's finally achieved it. And just then out comes Electro, ready to join Doc Ock and Sandman for the Sinister War coming up very soon. All in all, I gotta say number 69 was a good action-packed issue. We didn't get all the things resolved that I thought we were going to get resolved, but it did resolve enough to move the story forward in a positive way and spin it into a way that's fresh and new with the reveal of the multiple chameleons. Who knows how that's going to play into the Spider-Man lore, how Peter's going to deal with that with the death of his parents, and how that ties into all of that as well, along with the stories coming up in the future, Sinister War, King's Bounty, stuff like that. Definitely excited for it. I definitely give this one a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. It is a very good issue. I recommend it to you guys. If you guys have not been keeping up with The Amazing Spider-Man, they've been on fire with these storylines. But let me know down below what you guys think of this storyline. Let me know if you were excited to read it as I was. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And as always, keep it right here on Dorkston. I've been your host, Ghost. Adios, guys.